Look, do it again. Bam, 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 bam. The damage. Alrighty, hey yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis Rick here, back with some more DFO PvE, this time with my Swordmaster. Now guys, as you guys can see, I have a plus 12 weapon. We'll talk about that. I mean, can we establish something real quick as we're loading in here? Can we establish right now that Kiri is worse than Hitler? Okay, fucking Kiri is worse than Hitler. Okay, I said it right there. You know, in comparison to Kiri, Hitler did nothing wrong. Like, I'm not fucking kidding around anymore with this shit. Okay, don't even get me started as to how long it took me to get this to plus 12. I'm happy I did. I got a bludgeon, as you guys can see. This will be more important later on, as I've seen some of the skills can actually get additions later on. That'll let me like get AoE and stuff like that. So I wanted a bludgeon, but enhancing that thing, I joined some of the people that had horror stories about enhancing that thing, because I spent, I want to say, close to 5 mil, you know, even at my low level, levels, what, 17, the lowest you can get, like 5,000 in enhance, spent like 5 mil, and like 45,000 cubes. I was like getting so fed up. Pretty much have this Kiri title easily. I had it for like an hour before I finally actually succeeded. So yeah, we're done talking about that. I'm so pissed, and I'm so happy that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But at the same time, oh man, that just, like, higher level weapons, like, why is anybody ever gonna try to enhance that thing to plus 12? Let alone even plus 11, it was a nightmare. Although that being said, I did get to plus 11 like a lot. Get comboed. Alright. But guys, as you guys can see, I didn't talk at all about the Swordmaster. You guys can see, actually, at the start of the dungeon, I was able to pick one of 4 types of elemental weapons. And that's really her gimmick, right? Is that you get to choose a weapon based on an element, and it does do that elemental damage, and the weapon kind of has its own predestined look. So this one is a lightning katana, I guess. The other one was like an ice katana. And then this one is like the dark one is like a zombato, like a dark zombato. So they do have the elements attached to them, so it stands to reason you don't have to worry about elements anymore. But you do get different attack patterns depending on which weapon you have. So it's kind of interesting that your primary weapon that you wear really has no effect. You guys can see I actually caused a stun hit right there. It's pretty sick. Probably due to my zombato, or excuse me, my bludgeon. But we will be getting different skills. Right now we're pretty much just running the basic skills, aside from the fact that we got the elemental zombato, obviously, or elemental shift, I guess I think it's called. And we're getting work here. We're getting work. Is plus 12 not going to save me? No, we're not going to lose here. Okay, going to use counterattack there. Oh shit. Get the contagion. Ooh. No. Shoot him! Oh my god, I had to blast him from across the room. But anyway, guys, we're going to get to level 20 where we get a few more skills aside from this one. This one's pretty basic. I'm doing mostly basic attack with a really strong weapon, so we'll wait until we get a few levels. But I just wanted to rant a little bit about how fucking Hitler Kiri is. Alrighty, guys. Now, I might not even upload my level 20 adventure just because I don't think I got very many good skills at that point. But now, guys, we're level 25, and I've learned a little bit about my Swordmaster a little bit more, and the benefits of having the bludgeon weapon. So I'll try to show that off right now. We got a new skill right there, that one being like basically the female slayer version of the charge crash for the weapon master. So it's called Ascent. Does almost the same thing. I don't think it has as much super armor, so I guess it's really the only different. But the reason why you want to play Bludgeon Swordmaster, guys, is, well, first of all, you can actually use the Mountainous Press, which is this one right here, is basically the female slave version of Mountainous Wheel. You can use that on the ground when you use a bludgeon. So bam, you guys can see it also does the shockwave. So it's actually quite a strong skill to level up. I would not recommend it otherwise unless you really are using the bludgeon. So that's one thing that if you're playing a bludgeon weapon master, or excuse me, a sword master, you can use that. So on the ground, and then probably another cool skill right here. Just picked it up. Let's see it. Awesome, awesome. Okay, right there is the illusion. I guess illusion sword. Has a massively low cooldown, and with the bludgeon, guys, causes a shockwave. I'm going to say that's pretty much going to be your bread and butter skill, just because of how low the cooldown is. You just throw that out there, you have it crush people while you're not even looking at it, and it killed that guy all the way down there. So really, really nice skill to use. And again, like I said, the Swordmaster plays a certain way in that depending on what weapon you get, and I'll show that off right now. I'm gonna use the charge crash. So strong right there. 25, I gotta say, is where you start picking up skills, guys. Illusion Sword and the Ascent. So, but you guys can see these passes right here. They kind of change depending on what weapon you have. Normally on the regular Male Slayer, the weapon masteries just give you extra damage depending on what type of weapon. They work differently for the Swordmaster though. You guys can see if I use a bludgeon, I get additional effect. It says right here, bludgeons create additional effects while I level them up. For instance, the mountain press, like I just mentioned, can be used on the ground without jumping in the air. Tossing Slash, which I don't think I have that yet. Yeah, we get that at level 30, gets a shockwave attack. The Illusion Sword, which I already showed right there, gets the shockwave attacks. And then on top of that, finally, guys, the Arcane Blast, which is something we'll get at level 40, will also have shockwave effects on every hit. So, you can look at the other, I guess, weapon types and then just kind of determine yourself what you want to do. You know, I guess it's not that big a deal. This is not a class that I feel like you're going to be switching like constantly. You're going to pick one and then stick with it. Obviously, you guys can see I didn't even switch my weapon type here with my elemental shift. So that's something that you don't need to do. But yeah, you're going to determine early on what you're going to want to do with your class. And I just wanted to go bludgeon because I need an excuse to go bludgeon, man. Bludgeons are sick. So, and let me tell you, this Illusion Sword is abusive as shit, man. It's just constantly knocking people down, like, or not even knocking them down, just bouncing them, you know? Oops, totally missed that. Look, do it again. Bam, 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 the damage. So cool. I love that. I love that bludgeon does that. And, you know, even if you weren't using a bludgeon, I think it'll still do the slash attack, but that humongous AoE is so nice. So freaking awesome. So, anyway, guys, we're going to do this dungeon one more time. All right, guys, let's not forget to turn on this. In fact, we got another buff. I like to call this buff it's called Sentiment du for critical. I like to call it Omelette du Fromage. Omelette du Fromage. Shout out if you know what that's from. I'll put it on the screen later. But, yeah, that one is basically increases your crit damage as well as your crit chance. So my guess is the Swordmaster, no matter what weapon you're going to be using, you're going to try to want to stack crit just because of how useful the buff is. I don't think there's another buff in the game that will give you extra crit damage. So this class, unlike most classes, are going to try to want to focus on that crit damage, primarily for the just the stacking benefit of having that. So, and as far as I know, it is possible to get max crit on every class. It's just you gotta stack for it. You might need to get some emblems that can give it to you and stuff like that. So, damn, that Mountainous Press, yo, it's not a move I would use hardly ever, but now it's gonna be your spammable one, man. That one has such a low cooldown. Both this attack and the Illusion Sword dance. Look at that. Just bam, Mountainous Press, and bam, Illusion. You know, the cooldowns are just disgustingly low. So your gameplay is going to be changing a lot. You're not going to be using basic attack as much as I was using earlier, at least before level 20. You're going to be using these skills now once you hit level 25. Ascent, you know, Charge Crash, Illusion Sword, Mountainous Press. All day, all day. The AoE is real. It's like that. Those guys were like, what are you doing? I don't know. I was just standing in front of you, I guess. The range, man, is so nice. Anyway, guys, let's end this guy with the Ascent into Mountainous Press, into launch. All right. But anyway, guys, there you go. That's what I decided to do with my Swordmaster. I am going to be going bludgeon, no doubt about it now, since I got the Phoenix weapon. And I can't actually change it either, so not after spending 45,000 cubes and shit. So, yeah, I should make this point right now, actually. I'm already done with the event. I'm going to go back to town just to show you guys. I'm already done with the Phoenix weapon event. You guys can see you have already completed this event. What happens once you get the first 777 is that the next reward becomes a box in which you can choose your next Phoenix weapon, your second Phoenix weapon, and that's what the weapon I have on right now. You guys can see it's of inferior grade, however, because unlike the first box, you guys can see on the first box you actually have the option to change your weapon once you pick it up. So what you could do is keep changing it until you get a good weapon that has a good grade on it and all that, but I did not have that luxury the second time around. I'll tell you guys that right now, because once you choose your weapon out of the box, the next time you come into the screen and it just says you've completed the event, and I didn't have a chance to change it. So once you choose your weapon, it is permanently going to be on that character. So choose your weapon wisely, choose it on the account wisely, because it's untradeable, but it is indeed permanent. So I'm going to be running the Phoenix weapon, guys, and I'm pretty excited. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you nights later.
What did you say? Omelette de fromage? Oh, Dexter, Dexter. French is the language of love. Oh, say it again, Dexter. Omelette de fromage.